It's all about desire. You just got to come out here and do what you got to do. Somehow I found the energy. Just stay strong. I wanted it really bad.
All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope y'all are having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a good day. I wanted to check out this video that popped up on my feed. This one is, I mean, this is one of those things that, like, I don't think there's anything left for me to learn about this, but I've been proven wrong so many times that I don't mind finding out. So this is titled The Flu Game, Michael Jordan's Defining Performance, ? And this is from the YouTube channel The Score. It's been a while since I've reacted to something from these guys, but this is actually, this video dropped this week. So it's a brand new video. So I'm wondering if they've got anything new to bring to the table. As we know at this point, the flu game is more like the stomach bug game, like the food poisoning game, because of the pizza that he ate the night prior and all the shady stuff that was going on that, you know, that led up to it. Interesting story, told back by Michael Jordan and, oh, what the hell is his trainer's name? That's not cool to forget. Damn, I'm getting old, man. Anyways, I'll remember it later. But yeah, the story being told back about, like, the guys kind of like laughing at the door while they're delivering the pizza, that being the only place open that late and all that stuff. I don't know, man. It's a weird story. But the whole point is Jordan was sick. He was out there dying on the court. And not only did he, like, show up, but he delivered in the clutch, which is insane. But anyways, let's check out this video. Let's see what they have to say. What the hell is I going to say? Yeah, please leave the video a like. It helps out a ton. And also, this video is going to be linked in the description box of this video. So if you want to check out the original video by The Score, go ahead. I've said the word video so many times this session. Let's just watch the damn video.
What's the most clutch moment from Michael Jordan's career?
Too many.
Is it the shot?
I'd say the 98
final
finals,
shot?
Yeah. It's not even that shot, it's the whole sequence. The final minute or so of that game, I would say that is the most clutch.
Chicago
all of it.
the lead.
The college shot?
18.
Nah.
It's
a good
a hard
one.
question to answer. However, when it comes to which moment best encapsulates Jordan's sheer determination and almost
Wait,
pathological...
put it in the comments real quick, you guys. Before we watch this, what's your most clutch Michael Jordan moment? Because mine is the 98 finals. You know, just say the last... I'll just say the last 2 minutes of the 98 finals and just say everything that happens in there is the most clutch Michael Jordan performance. All right, your turn.
will to win, there is no debate.
Excuse me.
Now the big story here tonight, the story concerning Michael Jordan's physical conditions. He is suffering from flu-like symptoms.
It is without a doubt the flu game, the night Jordan overcame his own body to reinforce his legacy as the greatest competitor in NBA history.
It truly is a mind over matter situation. This is great.
It's all about desire. You just got to come out here and do what you got to do. Somehow I found the energy. Just stay strong. I wanted it really bad.
Yeah, he did. That line always sticks with me too. When the way he says it is like he's about to pass out. He's like, I wanted it really bad. Like, it really hurt. It hurt to do what he did that night, but he really wanted it.
The 1997 NBA Finals dawned. A coronation of another Chicago Bulls dynasty seemed inevitable. After all, the Bulls had Michael Jordan, who had firmly reestablished himself as the NBA's most transcendent superstar following his shocking retirement and brief foray into professional baseball.
Yep.
In 95-96, his first full season back, Jordan led the Bulls to a historic 72-win season and another NBA championship, earning his 4th MVP award and 4th Finals MVP award in the process. And his royal heiress was no less remarkable the following season, leading Chicago to 69 wins and helping them breeze into the NBA Finals once again. In fact, across the first 3 rounds of the 97 playoffs, the Bulls lost just twice as Jordan averaged roughly 31 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals per game.
And he always increases his numbers, at least just a little bit in the playoffs. I think he was averaging 30. Like I said, it's not much, but he always elevates a little bit.
They were unstoppable.
The point is he never declines in the playoffs. Which even this year, I don't know, man. This year's been interesting in the playoffs. That's all I have to say. The defensive intensity is up. The refs are swallowing their whistles a little bit. And averages are going down. Average scoring is going down for teams. It's interesting to see the impact that's happening right now. But anyways, Jordan had the opposite effect. He'd elevate during the playoffs somehow.
And look, that's not revisionist history or a slight against the Utah Jazz. The Western Conference champions won 64 games, had the MVP in Karl the Mailman Malone and another future Hall of Famer in John Stockton, and similarly breezed through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs to earn the first finals appearance in franchise history. The Jazz were talented, they were balanced.
Wait a second, that means Utah's in the same boat? Let me just hear that real quick.
Appearance in franchise history.
Wait.
Similarly breezed through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs to earn the first finals appearance in franchise history.
First finals appearance in franchise history. So Utah fans, you're in the same boat as me as a Phoenix Sun fan? We've been there, we just never won it, huh? Damn, man. That's crazy, because just like Phoenix, Utah has had a lot of good teams. And you've been close a lot of times. That's crazy to know. Just know that I feel your pain, Utah fans. Jordan also ripped our hearts out.
Jazz were talented, they were balanced, and after making it to the playoffs in each of the previous 13 seasons with nothing to show for it, they were hungry. But these were the Bulls. Michael Jordan's Bulls.
Yeah.
And as the best of 7 unfolded, it sure looked like Chicago was going to breeze to a second straight title and their 5th in a 7-year span without really breaking a sweat. In Game 1, behind a 31-point outburst from Jordan and another 27 from Scottie Pippen,
Nice, Scottie.
the Bulls outlasted the Jazz in an unforgettable series opener. However, Pippen's greatest contribution that Sunday night at the United Center was unquestionably the psych-out he delivered.
The mailman doesn't deliver on Sunday? Yeah.
As Malone
Let's
headed
do
to
it.
the free throw line with less than 10 seconds left in regulation and the game tied, famously telling the Jazz big man, "The mailman doesn't deliver on Sundays." Well, Malone proceeded to miss.
The funny thing is, we never hear about Scottie talking trash. Like, we never hear, I don't know about you, I never hear stories of Scottie said this to me and then he did that. But this one is so freaking classic. It's the only one I hear thrown around. And yeah, you can't get more classic than the mailman doesn't deliver on Sundays. Oh.
Both free throws and
Brick,
a Jordan
brick.
buzzer beater on the ensuing possession lifted the Bulls to an epic victory.
Imagine that. You miss both free throws and then Jordan comes back on the other end and kills you. Game over. Damn, that's gotta sting.
That, Chicago dismantled Utah in Game 2, beating them by double digits thanks to a 38-point, 13-rebound, 9-assist performance from MJ.
Wait, what? Game 2, 38, 13, and 9? Oh, damn. Yep. I see this stuff so often, and it still blows my mind.
The Bulls,
I
as
mean, you
per
almost had a 38-point triple-double in the finals,
usual, were in the driver's seat. For the second year in a row,
and they won.
Chicago had stormed out to a 2-0 lead in the finals, a seemingly insurmountable deficit for any opponent. Except as the series shifted to Utah, the Jazz found their groove. Malone, after choking in the series opener, took charge in Game 3, scoring 37 points while adding 10 rebounds to help Utah to a
Damn,
much-needed win.
What a monstrous show out, 37 and 10.
Then, 2 nights later, it was Stockton who shined, dropping 17 points while adding a dozen assists as the Jazz evened up the finals at 2 games apiece. Yeah, this thing wasn't over. Suddenly, heading into the final game in Salt Lake City, the series had become a best of 3. And what happened next, the theatrical turn that this finals took,
Right?
would become the stuff of legend.
Can you imagine if Jordan just didn't play? Could you imagine how history would be so different? They could have lost this series. Jordan wouldn't be 6-0 in the finals anymore. Like, the whole thing could have shifted if he didn't have the willpower to do what he did here. And it's not like all he had to do was show up. He had to do so much. By the way, cool new format by The Score. I've never seen a video of theirs in this format. This is kind of enjoyable.
An essential part of the Michael Jordan lore and one of the most unforgettable chapters in NBA Finals history. In the early hours of the morning on Tuesday, June 11th, the day of Game 5,
Tim Grover. Jesus. It was stuck in my, it was in the back of my mind the whole time. Tim Grover is Jordan's trainer. Moving on.
MJ was awoken by some serious stomach problems that wouldn't relent. He ended up staying up all night vomiting with what was later officially identified as the flu. When his then personal trainer came in to check on him in the morning, Jordan was curled up in the fetal position.
Grover. Yeah, I guess I could have just waited another 30 seconds. I mean, is it possible that when you have that bad of a stomach flu, that you're just, we've all been there. We have food poisoning, that it can be diagnosed as the flu because of what it's putting your body through.
It was bad. And over the last quarter century plus, the actual cause of Jordan's stomach upset has been the subject of intense speculation. One of the most popular theories was that Jordan was actually hungover after partying late into the night, either at Robert Redford's chalet or in Atlantic City, depending on who you ask. Meanwhile, others wondered if Jordan had gotten hit by altitude sickness due to Salt Lake City's intense elevation.
I'm not buying the first one, nor am I buying the second one. I don't think Jordan would drink to the point of like puking all over the place during the finals. And he's been in Utah before, and he's been in Denver before, so I'm not buying that he had altitude sickness.
Explanation though, according to Jordan himself, his stomach problems were actually a bout of food poisoning caused by a Pizza Hut pizza that he alone ate the night before Game 5.
Okay, I didn't hear that it's Pizza Hut though. I don't know where he's getting that one, but maybe he knows something I don't.
Actually, his personal trainer speculated that pizza might have been poisoned by some nefarious Pizza Hut employee who wanted to see the Jazz emerge victorious. Look, ask 5 basketball fans why Jordan was unwell and you'll probably get 5 different answers. But the bottom line is that with Game 5 of the NBA Finals just hours away, Michael freaking Jordan was in no condition to play.
Yeah.
While the rest of
I don't know about you guys. Once I saw it, I used to call it the flu game until I saw The Last Dance. And after that, once I heard Jordan and Grover saying the same thing, I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's the story, It's a freaking pizza. It is what it is. It doesn't hit quite the same way, but food poisoning's no joke.
the Bulls did shoot around that morning, a dehydrated Jordan was hooked up to an IV drip. He stayed in bed all day, and he was in such a lousy state that even his own mother advised him not to play. But this is Michael Jordan, and it was the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
If he was breathing, he was playing.
No kidding.
Now, the big story here tonight, the story concerning Michael Jordan's physical conditions. This Jordan arriving about 2 hours ago. He is suffering from flu-like symptoms. Made his way onto the court just moments ago, and as you see right here, looking a bit shaky. He was up all last night, spent all day in bed, did not eat at all, did not go to the shoot-around earlier today, did not practice, so his status is uncertain.
Yeah, uncertain was definitely the right word. Although Jordan mustered enough strength to take the floor, how effective would he be? Could he still beat MJ in that state? Well, as it turned out, the answer was yes. And over the course of that evening, the dehydrated, dizzy superstar delivered a performance that only he could, an impossibly dominant effort that became one of Jordan's defining moments.
Okay, I want to give you guys a quick perspective of growing up as a Jordan fan. Because by this point, and I saw this game live, never forget it. By this point, I had been so spoiled by Michael Jordan exceeding expectations whenever he's sick or injured, that I came in, like me and my brother were talking about it too. It's just like, dude, he's going to go off, isn't he? You know, and like, it sounds insane because the guy can barely stand, but it's like, he's going to freaking destroy these guys if he actually plays. And we knew he was going to show up. So yeah, he really spoiled us, man. And then the impact it had on us, like me and my brother, was if we're sick or we're injured, we expect ourselves to play better than we normally would. It's crazy what, growing up as a Jordan fan did to our psyche, basically, because that's an unrealistic expectation to have on yourself, to exceed your average performance when you're debilitated like that. But that's what it was. But I went into this wasn't a shock to me, what Jordan's about to do here. And that's crazy to say, because now looking back, I'm like, I can't believe he pulled this off. But back then it was just like, yeah, MJ's going to do what MJ does. He did it. We were spoiled.
The Bulls' first bucket that night, a Jordan jumper.
Can I just say it? We were spoiled. Like, we thought this is what an athlete is. This is a freak. This is not a normal athlete.
Out of his range there, I just don't think Carl had any idea what the shot clock was.
Oops.
And Jordan trying to slip it, and then took it back.
Money.
So Michael Jordan, despite
I thought his first shot was going to come out short.
visibly shaken by the flu
Oh,
symptoms,
man, look at his eyes.
connecting from the corner to tie the game at 2.
As a matter of fact, Jordan was the only Bulls player to score through the game's first 5 minutes. Frankly, Chicago was out of sorts early on both ends of the floor, and the Jazz capitalized, storming out to a 13-point lead by the end of the first quarter. But that's when Jordan said, enough of that. The ailing superstar went off in the second quarter, putting on an absolute clinic while somehow playing all 12 minutes.
God.
Michael Jordan has had
Good
to carry
Lord.
so much of the load.
Did you guys catch that? He played all 12 minutes in his second quarter, and he's dying out there. Fast break.
Back-to-back horrible turnovers.
Fast break,
for
MJ.
And Jordan puts moves on Hornacek.
Oh, good pass. Good finish, Luke.
Finding Longley. And the Jazz now leading by just 9 on the lineup.
I know, and he's got to do a come from behind, and that sounds so giggity. I mean, he had to come back from moving on.
Jordan to the crossover.
Dang.
Yes.
Sorry, Russell.
Not bad for a guy playing with flu.
You see how spoiled even the commentators like Marv Albert's like, yeah, not bad for a guy with the flu. Like, it's not shocking to any of us who was witnessing this in real time. It's like, yep, MJ's gonna find a way to have the willpower to do this.
The flu was no match for MJ.
No.
All told, Jordan dropped 17 points in the second quarter, including 9 from the free throw line, to cut his team's deficit to 4. And although Jordan was quiet during a more restful third quarter, the Bulls kept the game close. And when the fourth quarter arrived,
I bet halftime killed him, because that momentum he was riding on, once he rested at halftime, it all just faded away. So he had to come back a whole second time. I didn't even factor that in. It's like he had to do it twice.
Jordan took over like he always did in crunch time. The flu be damned.
It is 2-2 right now.
Double team, flu be damned.
Michael Jordan cuts it to a 5-point Jazz lead. Wes Morris with 11 points off the bench.
Double team.
Jordan.
Nice try.
Jordan fires
Single
the
coverage,
yes.
kill you from 3.
And he's tied the game at 77. And he did it in casual form. And you can see how exhausted Michael Jordan.
Crazy. So it took him till 9 minutes left in the game to finish the comeback and tie the game.
This guy was on the verge of collapsing, and yet he had almost single-handedly erased Utah's lead. And sure enough, in the closing moments of regulation, with this pivotal contest up for grabs, it was Jordan who called game.
Marv, the Bulls have been here so many times. The huge games, year after year. The confidence, the poise, the determination, the discipline and organization down the stretch, all paying off right now with Jordan masterfully at the line.
Ooh, short, tired.
Jordan able to scoop
Wow.
up the loose ball.
Yeah, but he does that.
With 40 seconds remaining. The game tied at 85.
Just give me the ball.
10 on the shot clock. Pippen backing Hornacek. Here's Jordan for 3. Yes.
That was a dumbass double team, by the way. Is that Byron Russell? Yep.
Pippen.
That was a dumbass double team. Should have done that. And you pay for it.
Backing Hornacek. Here's Jordan for 3. Yes.
Nice try by Stockton.
Michael Jordan from straight away.
Although the Jazz scored a quick 2 on the ensuing possession, a defensive breakdown from Utah allowed the Bulls an easy bucket moments later, restoring Chicago's 3-point lead with just over 6 seconds remaining. And as an exhausted Jordan staggered to the bench for a last-second timeout, barely able to stand up without Pippen's help, everybody watching knew that they had just witnessed history. Moments later, the buzzer sounded. The final score? Chicago 90.
Look at how
Utah
tired he
88.
is.
The Bulls
Guys,
had
that one always hits because he's like, he has this one moment where he's like, yeah, we did it. And then he remembers how tired he is. Look
The
at
final
this.
score? Chicago 90, Utah 88. The
So
Bulls had
tired.
regained their series lead on the back of one of the most improbable, unforgettable individual performances in NBA history.
for sure.
A performance that would forever be known as the flu game. 38 points,
Damn.
7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks.
See? You see, he's expected to play worse, and instead, what does he do? 38, 7, 5, and 3 blocks, MJ? 3 blocks? Like, that much effort on the defensive end is insane. Especially nowadays, we would just expect the guy to just go out there and take his shots and be a liability on defense and just try to, power through the game. No. MJ's not slacking off on either end. He's insane. This man is insane. The older I get, the more I realize this man was freaking crazy. Good luck to anybody ever trying to dethrone him as the GOAT. Good luck. You're trying to beat a psychopath. Like, good luck, good freaking luck. This guy's wild.
44 minutes. All while
44
feeling
minutes.
like death.
He rested 4 minutes of the game, and he was sick. I guarantee you he played the most minutes that game.
One of the great performances, the way you were feeling. You played 44 minutes. It was all about will.
Yeah, you know, it's all about desire. You just got to come out here and do what you got to do. We wanted it real bad, you know, and me as a leader, I had to come out and do my best, and hopefully the team could rally around me and come out and make contributions.
Never any doubted down the stretch. How weak were you?
I was really tired. I was very weak. At halftime, I told Phil that use me in spurts, but I mean, somehow I found the energy to stay strong. I wanted it really bad.
And well,
Used me in spurts. He played 44 minutes. By the way, I looked at his shooting, and his shooting was just under 50%. It was 13 for 27, I think I saw, so like one shy of 50%. So it's not like he was shooting bad.
that was the series right there. 2 nights later, back in Chicago, the Bulls completed the second leg of their second championship three-peat, downing the Jazz 90-86 in Game 6 on a game-winning jumper from, believe it or not, Steve Kerr. For his part, a much healthier Jordan scored 39 points in the series clincher and proceeded to be named Finals MVP for the 5th of 6 times in his career. But even if he'd been held off the scoreboard entirely in Game 6, Jordan still would have been named Finals MVP on account of his effort the game prior. A legacy-shaping night that he described as probably the most difficult thing he's ever done. Just how legendary was his flu game performance? Get this. The Air Jordan 12s that MJ wore that night sold at auction in 2023 for almost $1.4 million.
That would be cool. Flu game Jordans.
And almost 3 decades later, it's impossible to have a conversation about Jordan's outsized legacy without mentioning that fateful night in Salt Lake City, when the fiercest champion in NBA history wouldn't allow anything to stop him from winning. Not even his own body.
Yeah. Damn.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button.
I already am. Hey, that was really, really fun. I don't know about you guys, that really just made me want to watch The Last Dance all over again. Great video. Link is down below for it if you guys want to check out the score, the channel. That was really cool. That might have been my favorite video from them. Yeah, it plays out like I remember it. Did I learn anything? Not really. I think I just really enjoyed going down memory lane on this one because it's just, man. I mean, it's cool to revisit stories from my childhood or whatever. You know, I was a teenager during this time and know they weren't exaggerated. You know, because actually, if anything, I was downplaying a lot of these stories and, you know, revisiting them as an adult and going back and going, yep, we not only were we not exaggerating, we were downplaying how freaking amazing it is, because it's almost embarrassing to really talk about just how great he was on a basketball court. It's crazy. It sounds like we're shills, you know, but it's really like these are just real stories. These are the things he did. These are the things we remember, and be damned if we're not allowed to talk about it. You know, it's like you see something phenomenal, you want to share it with people and talk about it. But anyways, what's your most clutch performance? I mean, this is hard to argue with. You know what I mean? So it's not like I can say like, no, you're stupid for thinking this is the most clutch. I just have my preference just because he did it on a closeout game in '98, while this was prelude to the closeout, which I mean, and once again, not taking anything away from it, but just the fact of what happened in '98, that being the final memory of him in Chicago and the way it went down, I can't top that. I can't top it because he goes in, he drives, he makes a layup, he goes back on the other end, and you know he does it defensively. So okay, so we got penetrate, layup, other end, defensive stop against the best offensive player on the team and the MVP of that year, Karl Malone. Takes the ball up, doesn't even call a timeout, reads the defense, and it makes a clutch shot that seals the entire championship right there. Boom. So he did it in 3 ways. He drove to the basket like young MJ did. Then he got it done on defense, which is how he knows to win championships. Then he went ISO against Byron Russell. Perfect jump shot. And then you incorporate what the coach helped him with, which was use your follow through on your shot because he was tired and he was coming up short. So use your follow through. So you got Phil included in this. And he sinks the shot. Perfect swish. Championship won. For me, that's the coolest moment in NBA history. Like right there. It's hard to beat something like that because he did it all. You know, it's like in 2013, if LeBron somehow was able to sink the 3 instead of brick it, but also somehow get a clutch rebound and then also a clutch assist and then get the final shot. Like if he was literally LeBron, Ray Allen, and Chris Bosh all in one, then it'll be like, yeah, man, you did it. But instead, like that memory is LeBron brick, Chris Bosh rebound, Ray Allen clutch 3. You know, everyone was doing their part. But in this 98 scenario, it was Jordan, then Jordan. And boom, victory. Everyone celebrate. Wow. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Do you guys have the flu game as the most clutch moment? Maybe it's like Cleveland back in the day in the playoffs. You know, I'm curious what you guys have to say. So I'm out of here, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Tell your loved ones you love them. Be good to your people. And, well, be water, my friends. Peace out.